Putin Bad News Putin will skip the G20 meeting. The Kremlin announced today that Russian President Vladimir Putin will not be attending the upcoming G20 summit in New Delhi. President Putin will not be attending the G20 summit in India this September. Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov said, alluding to the conflict in Ukraine, that the main emphasis now is on a special military operation. Putin also did not attend the recent BRICS summit in South Africa, but he did send a video message to the five-nation gathering. From September 8 to 10, the G20 will meet in New Delhi. Top world leaders are expected to attend. A number of world leaders, including US Vice President Joe Biden, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, Canada's Justin Trudeau, Australia's Anthony Albanese, Germany's Angela Merkel, France's Emmanuel Macron, and Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, will be present. Putin may be reluctant to attend the multilateral summit because several Western leaders will be there who are opposed to the Russian military offensive in Ukraine. According to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, Putin will not be attending the G20 summit in India this September. The Kremlin claims that Putin is currently focusing on the ongoing war, which Russia has classified as a special military operation. Is Putin worried about an arrest warrant from the ICC? The Kremlin claims that the war in Ukraine is to blame for his absence, but it is clear that the arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court, ICC, for his alleged atrocities against children and women in Kyiv is the real reason he decided to skip the event. Russia has been accused of carrying out attacks against civilians in Ukraine, including the systematic torture and killing of people in occupied regions, and in March of this year, the International Criminal Court, ICC, issued a warrant in response to a report from a United Nations-backed inquiry. The court said in its ruling that there was reasonable grounds to believe that each suspect bears responsibility for the war crime of unlawful deportation of population from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation, to the prejudice of Ukrainian children. What could possibly go wrong if he went to India? Given that India is not a member of the International Criminal Court and has never signed the Rome Statute, Putin's confirmed attendance at the event would not have gotten him into any legal trouble. However, this could put pressure on India. Months after sending him an official invitation to the BRICS summit, the South African counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, urged him not to attend in person, sparking a controversy earlier this month. If the Russian leader had flown into Johannesburg, South Africa would have had to arrest him because it is a member of the International Criminal Court. However, given the current international climate, South Africa urged the Russian leader to participate in the summit virtually in order to avoid the risk of angering the West. At a press conference after the Russia-Africa summit in St. Petersburg on July 29, the Russian leader played down the significance of his absence, saying, "I don't think my presence there is more important than my presence here in Russia." The G20 summit will be overshadowed by Putin's decision. Notably, President Putin attended the crucial BRICS summit virtually, sending Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov instead to Johannesburg, South Africa's national capital, where the leaders of Brazil, India, and China attended the mega-event in person with the host South Africa. As the world's attention focuses on the much-anticipated meeting, which will see the attendance of US Vice President Joe Biden, his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron, and several other leaders, the city of New Delhi, India, has been decorated with multicolored lights and artists are busy designing the finest illustrations on the walls along the route of the mega-event. However, Russia's decision to skip the event may cast a shadow on one of its top defense exporters. Putin is widely expected to send his foreign minister to India for the G20 meeting, making him the fifth BRICS member to do so.